Let me see. Like I say, I'm just feeling her out, folks. Never flown her before, so. All right. Flies an awful lot like a Timber. Well, hey folks, byFGFRC out here at the Avian Parkfield. We're actually doing the maiden flight on the all-new E-FLITE Timber 1.5 meter 10-year edition, the special edition. Going to take it up and have a little bit of fun with her. All right, got a 3200 4S with a 50C, and got a bunch of planes in the air right now. This is very unusual for the club to have more than 1 or 2 pilots. We've actually got 7 or 8 people flying right now. So we're going to have to share the airspace a little bit. That's okay, we can do that.
Motor on.
Alrighty, we're going to take off. Taxiing out. This is the maiden flight on the new Timber.
Takeoff flaps.
All right. Here we go.
Flaps up.
All right. Like I said, I've never flown her before. All right, she needs a little bit of down trim. I'm just getting her trimmed out, folks. That's all I'm doing. All right. All righty. Let me see. Like I say, I'm just feeling her out, folks. Never flown her before, so. All right. Flies an awful lot like a Timber. A lot better roll rate than before. I'm up high so I can give people plenty of room.
Wow. Liking that.
Oh. You like that? Thank you. After you stick with it, you have all these others.
All right. I'm thinking I pretty well got her trimmed out now. All right, let's start getting some testing done. All right, stall test, clean stall, just cutting the power off, seeing what she does. Just start slumping forward. Okay. All right, let's do stall, up elevator. All right. Looks like, I can't really tell. Hold on, I do have a little bit of a wind. Let's start over again. Straight and level, power off. Up elevator. All right, I'm full up elevator, no power. Look at that. And she just kind of flounders about. All right.
We got someone taking on home.
Okay, that's fine. Very little inverted flight, very little elevator needed to maintain inverted. In fact, I'm just upside down all the time. All right, I know I'm up awfully high. I got other planes in the air, so. All right, let's get ourselves a low pass. Low pass down the runway, low pass. All right, flies real well. All right. All right, flies like a timber should. As far as being aerobatic, not a problem. Get turned around here though.
Landing flaps.
Landing right to left.
Sure enough, I looked it up. Sure enough, it's cut in half and everything.
Takeoff flaps.
Alright, let's try this again. Still got 20 seconds. We're going to take off one more time. Taking off.
Flaps up.
Alright. Landing again, right to left.
Landing flaps.
All right.
Flaps up. Motor off.
All right, we had 1 second left on a 5-minute timer. Let's see what my telemetry says. This fancy telemetry. All right, it still says that I've got, I don't know, that I'm learning how to relearn this DX9, but about a third of the battery left as far as how the graphics go, the graphic display. But let me check it the old-fashioned way. Definitely a successful maiden. Let me go to our forward programming and let me share my rates with you real quick. All right, the rates that I ended up using just now, roll was 12, pitch was 16, and yaw was 19. Okay. Priority, all at 140. Stop lock, the default of 35 on roll, pitch, and yaw. And nothing on release rate, one-time gains. All right, let me show you my flying rates with you. I just flew in. This is by the book. I'm trying to learn this again. 100% throws, 30% expo on ailerons. I flew my high rates the entire time. Elevator, 100%, 30% expo. And rudder, 100% with 30% expo. Now let me show you my flap settings. These were by the book also. The only thing I deviated from the book was they call for like 5% and 10% expo suggested. I use 30% expo on basically on everything. So that's just me though. All right, the flap settings is by the book. Flaps up are negative 100%, no mix. Takeoff flaps, 0% with a 6% down elevator mix. And landing with 100% with 11% down elevator mix. Now, I'm not necessarily a good demonstrator. I got a lot of people flying up here today, so I kept myself up high to keep away from people. So we'll get some more flights in. Hopefully when the sun starts going down, I'll be able to show off these lights. Let's check the battery the old-fashioned way. Like I said, according to this telemetry, I had 1/3 of the battery left and a 1 second left on a 5-minute timer. Throttle cut is on. And just so you know, I'm slowly working through my I got a new iX14 SC Special Edition Plus, just came today, and I'm going to have to slowly build all my models. Yes, I can transfer them over, but I'm just having to. I guess I didn't back them up correctly. I don't know. I'm having a hard time doing that, but I'll get that figured out. All right, 45%. So that's about right. That's about right. And to show you my battery placement, let me put the about 3 finger widths in, back from the front there, maybe 4 finger widths in. That's where a 3200 is. Let me put the cap on so I can share CG with you. If you find your CG is 54 to 66. Basically 60 plus or minus 6 millimeters back from the leading edge root. So where I've been finding my CG I'm happy with is that you feel for the plastic, the protector of the servo, and then pull your finger right dead in front of it. That puts you on that 66. And she feels, to me, feels pretty good where I've got that battery. I got plenty of tail authority there, and I like it right there. Well, there you go, folks. That is the maiden flight of the E-FLITE, the new 10-year Timber. Just came out, just released. And we'll get some more flights in here in just a little bit, but we are very busy, and there's got to be like 7 pilots here today, which is very unusual for us. So yes, I am more than one person who flies at this club. All right, well, thank you for watching. God bless y'all. Gabriel, thank you for filming. Thank you for filming, and thank y'all for stopping by and see what this fat guy is all about. And that is the E-FLITE Timber 10-year Special Edition. We'll see y'all later. Bye-bye. Well, hey folks, all right, we're going to continue on with the maiden testing of the all-new E-FLITE 10-year Timber Special Edition. This time I'm going to take it up to the 3200 3S and see what we can do with it.
Motor on.
Take it off. Alright, wind is cross runway, so let's just get turned around here.
Takeoff flaps.
Alright, let's take off into the wind here. Like I say, this is the 3S maiden now.
Flaps up.
I can definitely tell I'm in 3S now. Very little elevator needed. Very little to maintain inverted. So that's good. Alright. Get ourselves a little touch and go here, maybe. Like I said, this is a 3S now. This is learning a whole new transmitter here. Little tap and go there. Definitely very friendly for a beginner in 3S. Not intimidating at all.
Landing flaps.
Yeah, not intimidating at all. Like I said, folks, this is the second time I've ever had this plane in the air, so.
Flaps up.
It's not like I've come out here and flown it 10 times to practice before I filmed it for the first time. When I give you a maiden, if I tell you it's a maiden, and I tell you it's a true maiden, that means I've never flown it before. Not bad on 3S, not bad at all. Yeah. All right, let's actually land it now. A little bit of a knife edge there. Upward spiral knife edge. All right, see if she'll snap roll on a 3S real quick. Not bad. Not bad at all. There's so many people here today, we got to stay down at this end of the field. There we go. All right, we still got a minute and a half. Let's go ahead and do a stall takeoff right out here in front of us. All right, gonna put full down flaps, up elevator, takeoff.
Flaps up.
There we go. That would have been a lot quicker on 4S. Not enough power to hover, but it's on 3S though. Not shabby at all. Not shabby at all. I probably will stick to the 4S though. I think 3200 is about perfect.
Landing flaps.
All right.
Flaps up. Landing flaps.
Whoa, whoa.
Flaps up.
That's my fault. I turned against the wind. On the wind, on the runway.
Motor on.
You know, try to bring us in as a 3-point landing the best you can, but I was just screwing around there. All right. Let's get her landed now. Properly landed. There we go. Got a cross breeze, so having to fight that. All right, timer expired. Full 5 minutes. Well, we had 1 second left.
Motor off.
Go over the. I've already shown you the rates a while ago on the 4. Okay, on the 4. Are you in autofocus now? Okay. Just real quick, I'll make sure my rates stay the same as they should have. Hold on, I'm having to learn this. The layout here. About the same. I moved my slider. Roll was 7, pitch was 9, and yaw was 11. So we're going to capture that. Okay. All right. Well, there you go. That was the second flight. Now let's see what the telemetry on this says for the battery. So I am using a smart battery. It still says it's about a third left, so about 40% left. So let's see how close, how true that is. So that's going to tell me that 5 minutes, whether you're running a 3200 or a 4S or 3S, is going to be good. And however, CG is a little different now. 48%, so that's about the same. I think it was 45 before, so that's a little more conservative. But now I've got the 3200 3S all the way forward because it's a much lighter battery, and that still gives me great CG. And that's with a 3200 3S all the way forward to show you where that is. Nice top loader this time, top loader, but that's all the way forward. So, alrighty, well there you go. That was the second flight of the maiden. The E-FLITE Timber 10-year edition, special edition with the 3S in it, and it flies just so. If you've only got 3Ss, well then you can do a 3S no problem. It just, you're not going to quite have the punch that you have on a 4S. So, all right, well thank you so much for watching. God bless you. Gabriel, thank you for filming, and we'll catch y'all next time. And God is good. Bye bye.